Hi, my name is Jeremiah.
And I'm Kevin, and this is the Stuff and Nonsense podcast. We come to you from the sound booth at Corydon Community Fellowship Church in Corydon, but we want to make sure that people know that the opinions and the views expressed in this podcast are not necessarily held by Community Fellowship Church. They are just kind enough to let us use the space. That said, last week we introduced ourselves in our first podcast, and we talked about GTA 6, short for Grand Theft Auto 6, which is a video game.
Well, we didn't even talk about GTA 6.
Not
We just talked
really.
about GTA.
We talked about the idea of GTA and whether or not it might be suitable for young people or Christians to do. But we just we didn't talk any details about the game itself.
No.
So, Jeremiah, you had some people who were like, you should talk about what?
So they're saying I should talk about where GTA came from, or basically all this good details about the story mode or online. No, actually, the online mode. I haven't watched it in a long time because I never played it before. And I went to my friend's house and he played it, and I realized all you have to do, really, if this game is not for my kids, I don't want them to do that stuff. Now I get that, so you should have at least an age limit. I know there's an age limit on it already, like 18. Now,
Yeah, but that doesn't really hold, right? Because all you have to have is a console and the game downloaded
right,
and your parents' permission to do the thing in their house, right?
right,
So that's not really a thing.
right.
Yeah, there are lots of younger people playing this game. Maybe younger people without ability to think critically about whether they should play this game, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, before we get into all that, we want to talk about just the game franchise, GTA, which has been around a long time, since longer than you have been alive. Okay.
20 years.
Yeah. I first heard about GTA, and there was a big thing about it back in the day about the morality of running around a town, robbing, beating or shooting people,
Right.
going into strip clubs. It was a thing, and the church was solidly against this. Okay. And I would venture to say the church is still solidly against that, but that doesn't mean that church people don't play these things. So what's
Right.
up? What is it? Is GTA all bad, or is there anything redeeming about it?
So there is redeeming about it. So it's just there are bad things, a lot of bad things. That's mainly the main event, but also the game. The reason they created the game is because so people can have free stuff. So you can't. Because you can't do it in the real world, even though that's not really a good suggestion.
Well, and there is some point to that. There's a lot of things that we do in video games we would never try. I mean, Tony Hawk Pro Skater is a fine example. Who is going to ride their skateboard down the roof of a building and jump off into the middle of a street on top of a car? Okay, really?
Yeah.
Really? So there is a thing about video games where they're just not real. And it's easy for us to excuse bad or ridiculous behavior, take your pick,
Right.
because it's not real.
Right. And
Okay.
the thing you said about the skateboarding, some people are not really able to afford yachts in real life or submarines or cool military stuff. And so, or boats. And so that's a good way to do that. Now, online, on story mode, there's really not that 3D where you go inside like say a sailboat. But online, you still can't go on inside a sailboat. But in a yacht, you can go in every single room, and it's all detail-y. But you still have to pay for it, like submarines.
So, from a technical standpoint, okay, GTA has a lot of redeeming value, correct? Because some of the things that they did were considered to be groundbreaking
Yeah.
The whole idea of a free world that you could go anywhere and do anything. It's like The Sims, only more.
I never watched The
A
Sims.
little bit. I mean, The Sims is pretending to be whatever you want to be. You know, you're not. Anyway, myself, as an old guy who didn't grow up on video games, I mean Pong.
Right.
Okay, when I was
Yeah.
a little younger than you. To me, I just soon go out and live life. But there's stuff you can't do in real life. It takes money. Maybe you don't have the physical ability. When you play video games, you can pretend. You can do that.
Right, but also there's still a limit to that.
What kind of limit?
So you shouldn't kill people, even though, except for if you're in Call of
Okay.
Duty, you're fighting for your country, just like you said in the last time.
Yeah.
But if you're in GTA and you're killing just for money,
So morally, the idea is wrong.
yes.
Okay. But playing make believe. So let me ask you. I'm going to play a little devil's advocate with myself and my own point of view. Okay, what's the difference between doing this in GTA or I'm in the theater? What's the difference between that and acting badly in the theater, pretending to be a bad person for the sake of a show?
Now,
Okay, it's still entertainment. It's still not real.
No.
I have played characters who maybe didn't do horrible things, but were not pious.
what that means? I don't know what that means.
It means to be strictly religious, to be devoted
Okay.
to God or to your faith.
Gotcha.
And some of the characters that I've played probably would have shocked my mother if she had been alive.
Maybe like.
Okay, my mother died
Frankenstein?
before I moved here, and I was not in theater until I came here.
Maybe like Frankenstein? But everyone knows
Well,
Frankenstein.
I played a character who drank and smoked almost the whole time we were on stage, and he was a liar. And I mean, he didn't hurt anybody, but it was funny because it was a comedy and stuff. But
Right.
but the way I was raised, that wouldn't have been okay.
Yeah.
So, is it really any different? Pretending to be something in a show, watching a TV show about people doing bad stuff, or just playing a video game? Is it really any different?
No, but for the theater, you're like, well, you volunteer, but if that's someone's job, you basically have to do it to get some money.
Yeah, no. So first of all, it wasn't being paid; it was all
Right.
volunteer.
Yeah, that's what I told you.
Yeah. But my point is, for people who want to judge GTA as a franchise,
Right.
okay, they should look at the stuff that they enjoy that may or may not be wholesome, that probably isn't wholesome, and maybe they should go easy on the gamers.
Right, yeah.
Okay?
Because some people, like, don't really know how to describe it, actually. I don't know.
But let's talk a little bit of detail about the Grand Theft Auto franchise. Who makes it?
Rockstar Games.
Rockstar Games.
Yes.
Okay, and so was that their first game? Do you know what other games they've done? How long they've been around? That kind of thing?
Well, for how long? I don't know how long Rockstar Games has been around, but I do know the games that I think actually maybe 1989. I think.
We'll have to look it up.
No, December 1998.
You think so?
Yes, I have it right here.
Okay.
And they're
Research on the fly.
yeah, and then also their place where they make all these games is actually New York.
Okay.
In New York, and the games they don't only do GTA because then they wouldn't have that much money. Something like maybe Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition or Max Payne or
Max Payne, I've heard of that. Okay.
yeah, and it's like really old.
That was a good enough game franchise. It was actually made into a TV series or a movie. I forget which.
Right, and then
Believe it or not.
also
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption,
Red
Dead
Dead Redemption.
2,
Okay.
and all that kind of stuff. Red Dead Online,
Which is a
Grand Theft Auto,
Western themed show, what Red Dead Redemption is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Show. Game. So it's a big studio.
Yeah.
And of course, GTA is their massive hit, but Red Dead Redemption got a lot of play a few years ago. I know a lot of people were playing that.
Yeah.
Also, a kind of an open world thing, but set in the Old West.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. And in particular, the whole reason that we started talking about GTA is because GTA 5's been out for a long time and GTA 6 has been long awaited.
Yes. So GTA, a lot of people have been waiting. Like they've been pushing their date very back for about 5 to 6 years,
Okay.
and a lot of people are pretty angry.
Yeah. So this happens a lot with software development, we'll say, unless a company is very well organized, and even sometimes then they start slipping dates because what they're trying to do is either really difficult or maybe they lose people to other companies,
Right.
people that they used to rely on, and they think another person can come in and do the thing and they can't.
Right.
Right? There's various reasons why. But how long has GTA 6 been waited for?
5 to 6 years.
5 to 6 years. And they think it's going to come out.
They think it's gonna come out around 2024. No, 2025. How about?
Wow. And that reminds me of there's a particular electric car I'm waiting for. It's been promised for 4 years now, and now they say next year.
I was thinking about that truck that we saw a couple of days ago, but that's out now. So
Yeah. So, sometimes companies have a hard time bringing their products to market. Okay. There's various reasons. And then one of the questions will be, we waited for 5 or 6 years. Is this thing going to be any good?
Well, so what I have seen, the graphics look amazing, but the graphics always looks different in the trailer.
Mm-hmm. Why? Because they do animated cutscenes, which are not real gameplay, right?
Right. And so far, what I have seen, nothing really that redeems itself. Kind of. Not really.
Oh. So this has happened before. StarCraft 2 was rumored for a long, long time. It was like 10 years, I think, before it came. I think it was okay when it came out, but it was not, probably not everything everybody hoped for.
Right.
And it's funny. I don't know why. I don't know why. And sometimes I think studios just finally give up. They're like, well, we have to produce something,
right.
which is a terrible mistake.
Yeah.
And
finish it.
Sometimes they just wait, and maybe they never do it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. Have you seen any preview or information about features that it's supposed to have? Or, is it just going to be better graphically? Is it going to have a new storyline?
A lot of people are like really waiting for the graphics this time. Because
Really?
in GTA 5 online or story mode, but I can't really tell for myself, but I have seen other people on their Xbox or PlayStation seeing the graphics are already really amazing.
Mm-hmm. So why do it then?
So it'd look better and for more people to have it better.
Do you want my cynical point of view?
Go ahead.
They're doing it because everybody's already bought GTA 5 who's going to buy it. And they need to sell the next version so that they can keep getting paid.
Maybe kind of like the iPhone 14, 15.
There's a little bit of that. Although in phones, well, they keep adding features.
Yeah.
Although some
Tiny
people have been
features.
upset, by the way, about the latest Samsung Galaxy releases because they say the changes are too small and they're not worth the extra money, and stuff.
Me, I think the smallest things go for me.
Yeah.
Kind of like the smallest details, actually.
Yeah. So, we'll see. We'll see what comes. I got to be honest. I'm going to rely on Jeremiah's opinion of the thing because guess who doesn't play hardcore games? It's me.
Yeah.
I'm a tablet gamer. I do like turn-based strategy games. I'm not a shooter. I'm not big on the open world stuff.
Kind of like Zelda for like different kinds of puzzle games. Well, I know you don't play
puzzle
that.
games. I do strategy and puzzle games. My favorites are Civilization and then I play various. I do magic puzzles as an app. I do jigsaw puzzles. I love
I have that on my
jigsaw
laptop.
puzzles. I also like word puzzles and things like Sudoku and stuff. But my main thing is I want something that I can just put down in a moment because I've got responsibilities around the house. I got to do work. I got to take out the trash. I got to, whatever. And when I sit down to an immersive game, sometimes when I sit down to Civilization 6, believe it or not, I might sit down at, I don't know, 7 p.m. and the next thing I know, it's 2 a.m.
Kind of like on YouTube Shorts or TikTok.
a little bit like that. But I get lost. It's another turn, another turn, another turn. And so and honestly, when I was in college, I failed at least 3 classes because of games.
Yeah.
Okay. And they were, you would laugh. My favorite game was called NetHack. NetHack is a network cooperatively developed version of a game called Hack, which was a rogue-like game. There was a game called Rogue that was the original
That sounds familiar.
D&D simulation on a PC.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The graphics, you talking about graphics, these graphics were freaking awesome, okay?
By like
Keyboard characters on a 2D map. Like a little D for a dog.
Oh.
And a capital D for a dragon. And dots for spaces in a room. And pipe characters and minuses for the walls of a room.
Right.
NetHack was really advanced because they had colored letters for different variations within the theme. Like a black dragon had a black D, or a blue dragon had a blue D and stuff. Okay, so
yeah.
Believe it or not, that game, the imagination involved. You had to imagine everything because there was nothing graphically,
like
right?
D&D kind of stuff like that.
Yeah, but there was so much imagination in the game that I probably played the game hours a day, every day for 3 years straight.
No, right.
Trying to get the stupid amulet of Yendor from the Wizard of Yendor and ascend to the astral plane. I never did, by the way. I'm not good at it. I just had fun.
Right.
But if I was to play a game like Red Dead Redemption, who knows when I would wake up.
Right. So how you're saying about it's like you're playing at 11, but then it turns like 2 p.m. or a.m. whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of like, and if you're in GTA, you're like, okay, the one more mission, it wouldn't take that long.
Mm-hmm.
And then it does take longer. It's like one more mission. And it keeps on going, one more mission. Until you're finally like, okay, this is really late. I gotta stop. But I'm not sure if it really will save if I just stop. So I have to go all the way back to my house, save. And that takes pretty while unless you
They
get a
do that
cab.
on purpose,
Yeah.
because
like
they
in a grocery
want
store.
you in the game. But let me ask you a question. Are there in-game purchases?
Yes, like you can buy boats, cars.
No, I mean, do you pay some of your money in like in Fortnite they have V-Bucks?
Oh yeah,
and
for
you
GT
can
Online,
buy
yes.
okay, yeah. See, they want you in the game spending money.
It's kind of like you're in a grocery store and all the stuff, like the stuff you actually need, are all in the back, and all the stuff you don't need is in the front.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that. So anyway, I mean, obviously we don't know if GTA 6 is actually going to come out or not.
I'm not.
I don't personally. I don't care because I don't play GTA. Jeremiah,
I do.
Wants it real bad. Okay, and that's it's okay. We were talking about lost time. So, your mother, does she ever get after you about how you're playing GTA or something like that when you should be doing a chore or something?
Actually, no, not at
No?
all.
Do you do it when you should
For
be
TV,
sleeping?
yes. TV for sleeping, no, because now I've started for school time, not really, but for summertime, not at all still, but just this summertime, I just started going to bed at around like 9:30, and then waking up at like 5.
And that's because you're doing sports?
No, it's just I want to start doing some more healthy stuff because there's a quote to live by: early to bed, early to rise, makes a man young, wealthy, and wise.
Healthy, wealthy, and wise. Benjamin Franklin,
Yeah,
supposedly.
Oh, you knew that.
Yeah, they've been telling that since my dad was a kid.
Mm.
Probably longer.
Well, yeah, because it's Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah. So anyways, I said Benjamin Franklin, by the way. Predates Abraham Lincoln by
Oh, yeah.
almost 100 years.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah. But I bet you that it was not his phrase to begin with. I bet.
Probably.
He gets the attribution in a lot of quote books, but I doubt it was originated with him. Anyway, that's a good habit. I will say that if you're not spending time when you should be doing chores or you should be sleeping, you're unusual. Most gamers are pretty well hooked and play all hours of the day and all hours of the night.
Now, we don't want to be mean to y'all, but you kind of need to.
But
you should limit yourself.
And I would say the only thing that is wrong with that, there's in my opinion, there's two things about that. Number one, we need to have a sense of priority in our lives.
Yeah.
Okay. Video games are fun.
Yeah.
Imaginary stuff is fun.
That's why
But there
D&D
is
is involved.
zero real about it unless you get paid to make the game or test the game or play in a tournament.
Or play the game on YouTube and then
Just-
you get spanked.
Yeah. So YouTubers demoing the game, they can learn to make money off it. But otherwise, there's nothing real being accomplished.
No.
It's solving puzzles. It's just like me working puzzles. I
Right.
don't mean to condemn you because I have the same issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So sooner or later, I have to put that thing aside and I have to do the thing that is really going to make my life better or someone else's life better. Because
Right.
it's not just about me, right? I know people who go to their job, eat their food, do their laundry, make their bed, stuff like that.
Right.
But then all else that they do is gaming.
Now they go
They
to
don't
bed and
interact
make
with
your
other
bed.
people. They don't.
Oh, so you're not. So
do
you're talking
stuff
about
out in the
like
community?
going out.
Yeah.
Free time. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And I mean, it's a free country. They can do what they want,
Right.
but it's not helping society at all. I'll just say it's not. It's it's their right to do so. We're Americans. We value our ability and our right to do life the way we want to do it, as long as nobody's being hurt.
Right.
Okay.
Gotcha.
But I would challenge you and other gamers out there to think about whether or not what you're doing is helpful to the rest of the world, to your fellow man, to your brother and sister.
Now we're not telling you like you need to swear off games.
No.
It's still pretty fun.
Nope.
I get you want to play it. I want to play it, but
But we should make sure that our lives are lived in balance.
right.
Okay? So I might have to say, you know what? I need to put my tablet away for a couple hours. I need to talk to my friend.
Or your
I
wife.
need to call my wife, my kids, participate in something in the community. Okay?
Yeah.
And people want to talk about how the government's bad or this or that, but if they don't take part in it, that's no good.
Yeah.
It doesn't help. So, I'm just, I'm not trying to be preaching,
Right.
but I will say I believe strongly that we need to live our lives in balance.
Gotcha. I mean, I think a lot of people would agree with that, but they're like, I don't want to play games forever.
Well, balance is different for different people. And some people, all they want to do is go out, fish.
I like fishing.
Okay, or build stuff, and that's okay too. But as Christians, the Bible tells us that people outside of the church will know that we in the church are Christians by our love for one another. And that is demonstrated in getting out of our house and getting with our brother and sister and living life with them and helping them or hanging out or whatever.
Right.
So, in that respect, if I spend the majority of my time playing games,
Mhm.
I'm not being that Christian, that person.
Right, but also by playing games a little bit, you can meet different people on the internet, and
You
you
know?
can talk to them. Like, saying they're having a bad day, you can make their day up.
It could be. So let me ask you a question.
It's very rarely though.
Have you ever met anyone in real life that you met on a game chat?
Let me think. I barely play any online games because I can't because I don't have anything to play online games. I've only been able to play online games for like I actually have. It's just on the
Mhm.
Oculus, but that
Do you have an Oculus?
I used to. My sister has it now, and then she.
Okay.
Wait, why you like Oculus?
I've never played it, and I've always wanted to.
Well, so my mom didn't realize that I could go on the internet. Like I didn't like officially talk to
Uh-huh.
people, but I was on a game. Seemed like a cool dude. Now I know people can relate different. I know
Mm.
people can do it with their voices,
Mm-hmm.
but and we were just talking, and they're like, "Hey, you know the?" He's like, "Hey, can you give me some coins? Not like real life money, but like real life like money on the
Mhm.
game." And I really don't care about the money on the game because I just play. I don't get money to get skins or something.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I met this guy on Population One, and my mom knows about this. And so I was talking to this guy online because we were about to play a match, but then my mom heard about it, and then she's like, "I did not know you could do
And
this."
she's worried about predators.
And so
Okay.
and then she gave it back to my sister. My sister realized she moved out, and but anyways, but then now, and that was maybe like 2 years ago, and then now she really like she's okay with it. I think like she's like, "Can I get an Oculus?" She's like, "I
So
don't really care."
a lot of parents have great concern about their kids with online gaming in particular because of the number of people who are out there trying to meet kids and do stuff to kids.
Yeah, I get
Okay.
that. Yeah.
And kids are vulnerable for a couple of reasons. Number one, they're they don't know. You haven't lived life and you don't know necessarily what's good or bad. Also, you're smaller. You're not full size yet.
Right.
And maybe you're not aware of your rights as a person, or you don't have the ability to say no and mean no.
Right. I asked her about the Oculus, but I think it's because I've matured over the years.
Mm-hmm.
But my sister's made so I meant like not like chorly or
Yeah.
that kind of way, but different kind of way by knowing what's bad and what's not. And
Right.
so
I'm sure you
she
have a better idea of
seemed
what's
toward-
right and what's wrong now that you're 14 instead of when you were 12, or
Yeah, 12.
that kind of thing. So
So she's okay with me probably.
it's a
having an
thing to
Oculus.
think about. No, I just think the idea of it is cool, but I've never done it before. So we have like 2 minutes. We've gone around a lot of stuff and nonsense.
We still got 2 more topics. What like the thing like the story mode? Like we can tell details. I want to tell details about the story mode.
How
And
fast can you do that?
well, podcasts are usually around like an hour or like 40
Well,
minutes.
we ain't going for an hour, brother.
I know, not for an hour.
I got to go to bed.
So do I.
Oh,
I
not
think-
really. It's only 20 minutes to 8. But I got other things I want to do, like
Right.
puzzles.
Okay. All right. But so we're basically done talking about like all the
Well, you can talk about story mode
Right.
if you want.
Now-
So now the difference between story mode and online mode is what? Like story mode, there's a script that you go through where you're a character within the mob empire.
like so basically you have to like in the story mode you basically have to do this if you want to move up and get money. But online you can do a certain amount like okay, I got this much money and this is all I want. Like for me, all I wanted is like a submarine and then a yacht. And that's it. And then
Yeah. And then what? You're
just-
happy for the rest of your life? You got a submarine and a yacht?
yeah. Well, in the game, yes.
Okay.
For real life, still yes, because it's so much more different in real life.
Right. So just so you know that once you get a thing, then there's another thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
that
okay.
thing,
It's
there's
okay. It's
nothing,
fine.
yeah.
But that's fun. So in online mode, it's more of a free world, and
Yeah.
you can just do what you want. Period.
Plus, you can meet people online, which makes I think it's way worse because they can just blow up your things. And if you don't it's kind of like if you don't do payments on your things that you buy, it's gone forever.
And that's
Unless if you do, then
because real people don't play according to the rules of the story.
Right.
Right.
That's why story mode's
They
included.
don't do what's expected, and also they're smarter, right? So some games I play against the computer. They're so easy. Then you play against a person. It's a whole other thing. Why? Because the computer, we talk all about AI and all that and how smart the computers are, but
Right.
really they're only as smart as what the programmer made them.
Or and then you'd be like, okay, I want say you're playing 8-ball, and you're like, okay, I want this to be like at least my level, and then higher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some games get insanely difficult at genius levels and stuff, but most of them are not nearly as hard as when you're playing real people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then they probably just spend.
So are those the
20%
only
on it.
modes?
No, actually, yes. Just online. Well, on online, you
Mhm.
don't have to you can still have all the features online without. Okay, so say you want to have all the features that online has, but don't want to play with other people. They have that mode.
Okay.
So say I want to have
So
all
it's
of this.
just totally free play mode.
Yeah, and you don't have to go by how the story wants you to.
Mm.
So after you finish story mode, you go online. Say because Franklin, Michael, and Trevor are one of the 3 main characters in GTA 5.
Okay.
And so after you're done with the story mode, like, oh man, I'm bored. And so then you go to online mode, and then basically when you go online, Franklin's all grown up. Franklin, he is a like I don't know how to put this. He's like a noob, I guess. Like
A noob?
at being a crime
As in a
boss.
newbie?
Like a newbie being
Yeah.
being a crime boss.
Yep.
Michael, he's not really a noob, and so I'm gonna tell you the backgrounds of them.
Okay.
Franklin,
Yep. Sorry.
he grew up in the hood. He grew up in a hood. I'm just a hood. He grew up in the hood, and he's trying to level up himself to be more of a crime boss. Michael, say he's working for some fake fraud guy for cars, and so he orders Michael to go to Michael's house and steal a car because they didn't make their payments right. And once he does, but Michael was sleeping in the back of the car, and he pulls up, puts a gun to your head, is like, run through the window, or I will put a bullet in your skull. And he goes through the window.
That's harsh.
Well, yeah, it's
Okay.
GTA.
Yeah.
He goes through the window, but then he's like, maybe I was like, thanks, man. He gives Franklin money, but then they meet each other, they get a drink, and then Michael's like, I'm gonna help you level up, not level up. I'm gonna help you become a better crime boss, and so that's what they do, and I think Michael is not in the online mode. Franklin is. He's telling basically us what to do in the missions. Trevor, I have not seen him yet in online, but I have heard that he's still in online. Trevor's my least favorite because Trevor is the worst. He's ruthless. He's so I can't. What Michael put him, he's basically hell walking on earth.
Hmm.
He's he came from hell. Okay, and started walking on earth.
You say that he's purely evil with no good traits to him?
Some good traits, I guess. He's really nice to Franklin. He likes Franklin. I guess he's just nice to his friends.
Right.
I guess, but to other people, he kills them no matter
Okay.
what.
So, well, we all have to have our limits on what we will or won't do. We talked about that last week. But anyway,
that's basically it for this podcast.
You think so? I want to ask you one quick question. So, in a lot of games with an online mode,
Right.
There may or may not be enough people in the online world to really populate the world, so they have NPCs.
Right, yeah.
Non-player characters, which are basically computer players.
Like sometimes in...
Can you tell the difference? Can you tell when you're meeting a real person or when you're meeting an NPC?
So in Fortnite, totally different game. But in Fortnite, people can tell if it's bots or not because some people can't fill the lobbies because usually the lobbies go to 1 person to 100. The limit is to 100 people in a match,
Mhm.
and you basically have to win.
What about GTA though?
GTA now online. No, yeah,
Is
they
the
don't
world
have.
basically empty if there aren't enough players on at the moment?
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible.
Well, no. Say like there's like they don't have
And
NPCs of
can't you
online
just
people.
still walk up to a bartender or something and talk to him?
So
or
there are
a
NPCs walking.
shopkeeper?
Yeah. So it's
Okay.
basically a story mode and online. and
Okay, so there are NPCs.
There are NPCs, but not.
Are they
like,
dumb? Are they really dumb?
The crime bosses, no. But the regular NPCs, yes.
Yeah.
Say if you accidentally bump into them, they
Yeah.
think you're trying to attack them.
NPCs are a thing that's complained about in a lot of games.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was just curious about that. So, do you think we answered most of your friends' questions about GTA or their complaints about
Yeah, I
that
think
we
we've gotten
didn't
into detail.
did we beat it to death?
Yeah, they said that
So
I
to
should
speak.
go into detail about more about it because we didn't really
Okay.
reference it in our last podcast.
All right. Well, I hope I didn't come off as completely ignorant, but I have never played the game. I've only ever read about it, or I watch a lot of YouTube, like Game Linked by the LTT channel, Linus Tech Tips, and
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah.
So I do pay attention. My son used to subscribe to Game Informer, and I read the articles, but I didn't play the games. Isn't that dumb? Maybe.
Not really.
Yeah,
It's
it
just
is.
it's your preference. You don't want to play the game. It's
But
not
I
your
like to
fault.
know what's going on,
Right.
So I still pay attention. All right. Well, I guess that's it. We've had a pretty fun time discussing this. Maybe it wasn't quite as, I don't know if we were as humorous as last week, and that's okay. But I'm Kevin. That's Jeremiah. We're talking stuff and nonsense. Thanks for joining us.
Yep. See ya.